take this project to production. I know we haven't handled as much. The server is currently down. I know we still have some more ground to cover, but I want us to start tracking our changes from arrive domain, subdomain, or an IP. Okay, I would want us to start appreciating how to do deployments at this stage. Okay, so out there we have quite a number of hosting platforms that we can take our application, but we are going to start with those that offer free hosting packages. All right. So for now, we are going to make use of a popular platform called Render. Okay. So we can simply navigate to render.com. So while there are some premium packages here, they also offer trial packages, but of course with limited resources. All right. And in here, we simply need to navigate to the dashboard. And in here, you can simply create an account if you don't have one. Okay, of course, if you have one, just proceed and log in. So all we need to do is to click on this new. All right, we have quite a number of options here. So for this particular application, we are going to talk of web service. Click on that. Then in here, you have quite a number of options to pull your project or to bring your project on board. Okay, so in here you have an option of GitHub, GitLab, and Gitbucket. Okay, all of them works the same way. All right, but for now we are going to work with GitHub. All right, and GitHub, this is what we have just done some minutes ago. All right, so in here again we also have quite a number of options here, but now that we are using Git provider, we can try to configure or to link GitHub and Render. Okay, so I should click on this link and click on configure in GitHub. Okay, so you are currently seeing my username here because I've already signed or connected my GitHub and my Render account. All right, so you can talk of configuring GitHub, proceed and input your login credentials, and Render will gain the access. So let me just click on that. Of course, for now, I'm already logged in, so I'll proceed to this section where I'm supposed to give access to Render, some certain repositories, or alternatively, I can give Render access to all repositories. So for now, I'll talk of DJ training. Okay, so this is the name of the repository that I just created. So click that. And down here, you can click on save. Okay, so we already have it here. The other option is using public Git repository. Okay, remember this link, you can simply copy that and paste it here. You do not, so in that case, you do not necessarily need to connect Render and GitHub. All right, so just use any of those options. Okay, so in here, I'll click on this. This is the repository that I want to deploy. DJ training. You can also do the search there if at all you're not able to see it among the first few. Click on that. Okay, give it a name. I can give it that name, should be unique again. Then in here we should talk about Python 3. The branch is master. Okay, so for the region, for now we need to work with the default one. Okay, then for the source, remember our project is currently in the root directory. We do not need to move into a directory to have access to our project. So leave that as it is. Then the build command, this is the command that will be used to install the dependencies for our project. All right. Then in here, we have the start command, and locally we have been using this command here. python manage.py run server. Okay, so when we come to render, we have a slightly different one, and in here we are going to be talking about gun icon. Then we mention your application. Our application in this case is the name to our project. Okay, and inside our project directory we have a WSGI file. All right, and that's what we need to reference here. Okay, so we are going to talk of gun icon. Okay, then the name to our project. Remember, you need to refer to your project structure, and that's the name to our project. So we have that dot WSGI. Okay, so once we do that, the next thing is to select the package. For now, we want to work with the very free package. Of course, we have some restrictions here. Then proceed. We don't have any environment variables for now, so we leave it as it is and proceed to click deploy web service. Once we do that, we give it time. All right. Of course, we expect quite a number of errors to pop up, but let's see and then proceed and resolve them. So from the look of things, we see that our build has failed. Okay, so quite a number of reasons that would cause that. Okay, one of the reasons that could make the build to fail is we have these dependencies here. Okay, so these are one of those that could make a build to fail. So in here, as mentioned earlier, you can remove the dependencies that you never installed directly. Of course, once we install the parent dependency, it will install the others on its own. So we remove those. All right, so that's a single fix. And of course, I expect us to get another problem, but for now, let's just push that and watch it out. So we are going to make that update locally. Okay, then push it to GitHub. All right, then after that, we need to reference to the new commit point. All right, so after doing that, we need to talk of git add everything, then do git commit message requirements added. Okay, then let's do git push. Okay, so once we do that, a new commit has been done, then we can come back here under this manual deploy, click on that, then talk of deploy latest commit. Okay, then confirm that. Once we do that, just give it time. All right, at least we have seen some success somewhere. Build was successful, deploying, then we have this command. Okay, so again, gun icon is a dependency and it needs to be installed. Remember, in the startup command where we have added gun icon and mentioned the name of our project .wsgi. So we also need to add gun icon in the list of the dependencies that will be installed. All right, and as we can see here, gun icon not found. Okay, so in here we just need to talk of gun icon. All right, once we do that, I think that should be good enough. Proceed to add everything, git add everything, then do git commit. We can say gun icon added, then do git push. Okay, so once we do the push, let's go back here and under the manual deploy the latest commit. So just do that and confirm. Let's see how it goes. All right, and after some 2 minutes, we see that the build has completed and we are able to see that our service is arrived. Okay, so if we look at this section, there is already a subdomain generated for us. Just click on that and it opens a new tab. Okay, so if you remember when we were talking about the things to adjust in the settings.py file, we came across something like this. Okay, so we are just being requested to add these to the list of the allowed hosts. Okay, so I'll copy that, navigate back to my project. Under settings.py file, there is this section allowed host, then I can add that. All right, once I do that, I simply need to do git add and I'll add everything. Then I can do git commit. Then I add a message here, allowed host added. Okay, then I can do git push. All right, so once I do that, let me go back here. Under this, manual deploy, deploy latest commit, and confirm. So it will redeploy the application with the allowed host field in place. All right, so within again a few seconds, we see that our project is live. So I can simply reload this. And there we go. We now have deployed our project. But one thing, we have already lost the styling. The static files are not able to work as expected. Okay, so this is something that we will be working on to ensure that we are able to get the static files working on a production server. Okay, so any changes that we make to our project, we are going to be updating our repository and doing the redeployment so that we can also track our changes online and be able to share what we are building with our friends as well. All right, so that is it for today's session. I'll see you in tomorrow's session.